Live stream is on.
All right, so we kind of forgot to record the beginning of the meeting, but just for record, we discussed the RFC. We went through the existing comments here. There isn't much to discuss here. We haven't had any major disapproving comments here, but we went through these. You can also look at them yourself. Yeah, and so something else, I haven't had any updates on the tooling here for the RFC, but I will have to work on making that work with derivations. So filter out derivations so those don't get migrated. I guess also figure out how exactly the tooling should work. And by that I mean in relation to pull requests. So in here we are saying that the standard must be followed for newly added packages. And so this kind of means, I guess, all existing PRs. I think that should work. But yeah, also about like making it output exactly locations of problems when packages could be migrated and they aren't, or something like that. GitHub has like a thing where you can annotate a line in the code that was changed with a warning. Yeah. But yeah, otherwise we will probably discuss some more now, although unrelated to the RFC, but some other bits. I guess I can leave the recording running. Like we can also do this one here that you mentioned, John.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, this is I did make an issue for it, but it's honestly a small enough thing. I don't think it requires us in any official capacity, but we have some time. It's a good place to get more eyeballs. So we've been discussing prior meetings and offline, trying to have more package comment metadata, and the repository person seems inclined to use this stuff, which is exciting. And then previously Robert did this thing, which is getting all the infrastructure and actual heavy lifting going. So thank you, Robert. And then also making a JSON file that has some default choices for what compiles what, or what package, what like good choices of packages from which to get a package config module. But it'd be also nice because there isn't a unique choice there to write down in the packages themselves what they provide, and then the tests for that JSON could additionally assert that that the things that they claim to the packages being mapped to have claimed to provide the thing that the that they're being assigned to. So there's at one point Robert left a comment, so there's separation concerns. There's like packages make claims on what they provide, and then the packages can test themselves to back their complaints, their claims, and then separately packages can be sort of selected as defaults for a package config module, and then there's just an eval time check. Does their meta package config modules reflect the key they were assigned to in the JSON map? Right now there might be some redundant checking, but the future work would put in all the meta package config modules and then deduplicate that. And we also wrote some more docs here, expanding the section that Robert started. So yay, more docs. And package config modules is a list because there's no rule that a package can only provide one package config module. And
yeah,
I'd rather have
many.
Yeah.
Is there a map? So like package config files have like basically an includes field, or sorry, like a requires style field. Is there a do we have anything represented in this mapping that like make sure that those are propagated inputs if they're declared?
There's a validate package config hook that could check for that.
Cool. Yeah.
It probably should.
Yeah, that would be one. And then the other one is
this one, the test meta package config.
No, it's an older one. Validate package config that predates it.
Yeah, you would want to make sure those are propagated inputs. And then the other one is, and I would actually, I don't have a task right now, so I can help with this, but basically a lint for the package config files to make sure they're not running shellcode would be good.
Cool. Yeah, all that stuff sounds like good for this validate package config.
Cool. Yeah.
And the validate and the test meta package config uses right now it just does a list of ones for each, but the underlying thing could maybe even be deduplicated with the validate package config,
cool.
if it makes sense.
Yeah, and I think the validate package config's good. Yeah, and that's a good opportunity. That's like run cycle checking, make sure that those inputs are propagated, and probably like a lint for shellcode.
Yeah, sweet.
That's a security vector that I was always very concerned about when I realized you could do that.
We'll have Alex's. The setup hook will be called Alex's no evil package config.
And so the idea is to, well, mainly, I mean, we have this listing now, this JSON mapping, but now we don't. And so these checks are implemented now to ensure that these packages actually do provide these package config.
The JSON testing currently tests that, but
we also these are just the defaults, right?
Yeah, so I would want to make it so everything in there must have a package config modules, and then I would remove that check. I would say everything must have a package everything must have a package config modules, A, and B, everything in there must have a pass-through test package config, which is the thing I did in zlib. And then I would change the test in that instead of retesting those things, just assert that stuff is there and sort of depend on the output of that other test.
You can even assert that they're equal, the tests.
Yeah. Oh, I guess that's true. In case you like evilly wrote a different thing as test package config that does something completely different.
PKG's empty file.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's But basically, like the JSON, the JSON could be auto-generated for anything that doesn't conflict, and B, just I want to get the stuff in the meta because then Rapology can pick it up, and all that.
Cool.
I see. Nice. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I guess Alex, feel free to jump in and help out.
Woohoo! Oh, I will.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get a good crowdsourcing for converting all the like 50 things in there to use this.
Yeah, I think so like when I read the RFC, the one thing I wasn't clear on, so are we like generating, is the idea like we're going to generate package config in cases where it doesn't exist, or are we flagging?
There was an issue for that, but that's all super future work.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was just kind of like, when I was reading through, it was a long thread. I was trying to figure out what was going on.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, Kitties.
Hey,
thought to check if you guys are still around.
Yeah. We kind of discussed the RFC already. Are you here to talk about the RFC 140?
No, I'm just here to see what are you guys up to.
I see.
We were just talking about the package config modules PR put up. It's a little small thing if you.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really, I guess, in scope for this. It's Nixpkgs architecture, but I think that's fairly.
Yeah, I think it's it's not, you know,
Yeah, it's not like
doesn't
a
rise
major
to the-
change. It's like a new feature that makes something nice work.
Yeah. I just figure, well, it's easier to add things to meta than remove them. So that's the one thing I really want to get a second opinion on.
Like,
Yeah.
if I recall correctly, with simple paths RFC, you're guys making concept of units, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
I'll tell you why I hate it. Uh,
Oof.
I was going to create project name Nix unit. It's a
Oh.
different thing.
Ah.
Okay.
Wait, what would next unit be?
New module systems in a way. Kinda old, but new way of using it.
Whoops.
That, those don't necessarily have to be different things, you know, 5 years from now.
So how are
Yeah,
we
I mean-
renaming it?
No, I mean, you can just call yours Nix unit anyways, and it'll all get sorted out eventually.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, we might wait. Do we have a package that's called unit, perhaps? Unit. Oh yeah, we do have a package that's called unit, anyways. So I don't think that's a problem.
Yeah. I don't think we need to take the unit name from everyone.
yeah.
Oh, fair enough. UN. Uni. Oh, here, unit. Dynamic web and application server. Oh, and I guess here. Oh, yeah, that's packages unit on unit. But it's kind of nice how all the Nix tools that have a Nix prefix are in the same directory here.
Hmm.
And
Actually, have you guys did any benchmarking so far?
on the Nix side, yes. And there the performance is like unchanged, like evaluation performance.
Unchanged or basically unchanged?
Unchanged.
It's
Okay.
I mean, it's not. I guess it's not unchanged, but I'd have to like probably run it for like 100 times to be able to measure a significant difference.
Well, let's
It's
grab
like-
Hyperfine and do it.
I mean, it's in the like less than 0.1% range, I'd say. It's really like insignificant, and the
I
reason
feel like-
why
I feel like 0.1% range would be like 1 or 2 seconds on low-end devices with Nix.
well, in that case, it's gonna take
Yeah.
like 1,000 times longer to evaluate the whole thing. So.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, so I had to make it like this though. This is the reading of the unit directories, and that's in the top, in the very top of the. Oh, damn it, Jitsi. So I had to make it like this. So this is the stage.next file.
For the record, I can't figure out that thing there. It's worse than Minecraft.
What the record type?
No, like the screen share quality.
Oh, let me increase it a bit. Does this kind of work?
Surprisingly, it didn't really change anything. Actually, now I can read out kind of letters.
I think it might sometimes only get the right resolution after a little while.
Okay.
But yeah, in any case, it's a let-in statement that reads all the unit directories at the very top of the stage.next file.
Yeah.
And because of how Nix works, it's going to cache this every time you import this file. So it actually only evaluates it exactly once. If you had it any lower, it would evaluate it multiple times, in which case it would be a bunch slower. yeah, so it's pretty good now.
That's good.
Yeah.
Actually, why there is like a unit folder? Like, why isn't it just under packages, then shard, then name? I assume there will be like some other folders next to unit.
Well, unit, we talked about this. Like for now, it makes the most sense for it to be here. In the future, it might be moved up one level. So,
Okay.
like once we
Yeah.
maybe gotten rid of all of these and kind of sorted them into their own thing. So, for example, builders might also go in a separate directory. And
I was about to bring it up if like that would be nice.
yeah, so it's in a big part of this is in the future work of the RFC. So like,
Yeah, I've read it a while ago.
so units, for example, could also, like if you have a Postgres, the package definition, it would also make sense to have the Nexus module right next to that, just because it's much easier to edit for contributors and ideas like that.
I'm not sure if that's a good idea.
I think,
I
mean,
like fishing
it's
for
certainly
modules is going to be a pain. I like to like, for example, like go to like Nixpkgs directory and just grab for certain options. Unless like we would do like stream
it has
linking, but that's kind of nasty.
it has trade-offs. Currently, it's kind of really kind of a bit annoying to like contribute a package and a Nexus test and some library functions and
Yeah.
a Nexus module, and they all go in different directories, and that's a bit hard. So
Yeah,
that's where the motivation
I
for
see
that
where
comes.
you're coming from, but yeah, not sure if I support it just yet. Need to think about it.
Yeah, we aren't sure about this either. It was currently it's just an idea.
Yeah.
By the way, how's the screen resolution now?
Not better. Actually, you could try sharing a tab. That might help.
I'm on Firefox. I'm not sure if that works.
Oh, it doesn't support it. Okay.
At least I wouldn't know how. But
It's
I don't think
usually
it does.
like at least in Chromium browsers when like you click share screen and you choose either a tab or a full screen or a window.
Ah, I see. Okay, yeah, that doesn't work.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess we could like discuss the next kind of thing to work on, and something kind of obvious would be the getting rid of more
resolution just
definitions
fixed.
in all packages. Oh, did it improve now?
Yeah, you moved the window, I believe, and it just resolved itself.
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
What were you
nice.
saying? I got a little excited.
So something we might want to focus on next is just getting rid of more of these special cases in all packages. Currently, where is it? Here. So after the RFC, all packages will look kind of like this, with like still a lot of definitions in it, but all of them have something special with them.
Yeah.
Python 3 call package, some arguments, kind of just focusing on the next bigger thing that will get rid of most of these.
Right, I didn't even think about like Python 3 package called package. I thought it's just like overrides.
Yeah, there's various kinds of conventions here.
What if you would replace unit with some like basic packages and other one like Python packages, which would be like called package with Python and so on? Then you would like separate it by technology group, if you will.
It's
We had
I
some
feel like
different talks on that sort of thing. Alyssa was very against it. Because
Against what?
those polyglot packages, trying to do everything setup hooks, not dichotomy of different language.
Oh wait.
Yeah, I think we had this idea of only having single builder for derivations, and then different ecosystems and languages and frameworks add their own like plugins or setup hooks kind of things into that one builder to build certain things.
I mean, to be honest, I think we should not start any big second project until our first big one is complete.
Yeah.
If we
We
want to
can
do
discuss
any
like what. Yeah.
Well, I had one idea for a little thing, which is right now if your build inputs or other dependency is a single file, it sources that file, and that's just fucked up and evil.
Yeah.
We should not do that. But
wait, is that a bug or is that?
No, it's on
behavior?
purpose, and like I understand, like, yeah, it's on purpose, but
there's
it's not
these
a great
setup
idea.
hooks really early in the bootstrap before the make setup hook stuff, and that was just like the easiest way to do it, but it's not good.
I mean that sounds like a good improvement, but I don't think it needs to be something for the architecture team.
Well,
like that feels like something that can just be deprecated, and
I think it's good to sort of do calisthenics while we're waiting for our first big project, like just like a little like 1 or 2 week things, and then the RFC will be in discussion, and then we'll be involved with that, and then there will be actually come time to implement the thing. But yeah, I if we even discuss something of similar magnitude before the first thing is done, I think we're inviting the gods to punish us or something. It just I get big Icarus vibes there.
I don't know, man. I think this RFC seems like it's gonna be mellow. God himself could not sync this RFC. Nothing's gonna go wrong.
Well, even if the RFC goes well, there's that actually doing it afterwards and dealing with whatever
Yeah, you don't want to have to be putting out other fires that you started while you now have to also implement the other thing.
And there will be fires that Offboard doesn't catch, that other things don't catch.
That's campfire. But we actually there was a discussion about this, and that's a good point. We should actually discuss this. So the RFC currently says that I'm not sure how explicit it is about it, but I think it mentions the standard must be followed for newly added packages. The Kansas a tree-wide migration will be performed for the packages that can.
Someone will become a top contributor in Nixpkgs.
I mean, the PR is already open. It's really just a whole bunch of file renames, like 12,000. So, but the question here is: should we first just introduce the possibility for this convention, merge it, convert a couple packages over, and wait for like a week so that all the channels are updated and we can be sure that nothing in the Hydra infra and the channel updates thing breaks. And yeah, I mean, I think that's a good idea to just test it first.
Yeah, I think that would be good. Also, I'm pretty sure you guys are like pretty far into this RFC because it's been a while. But may I throw a little wrench into this RFC? So there are issues on resolving overrides, and wait, what was the other thing I was thinking?
You commented the thing with the changing arguments, right?
I was going to resolve like another thing with this, but I forgot what was it, or maybe I'm just. Anyways, what if with these simple paths we would expose like already like actual code package, but an intermediate object would just have just imported basically blueprints. So in this way,
yeah.
you will need to overwrite anything like at least in Nixpkgs, and I guess nobody else.
Yeah, we talked about this a bunch as well, yes. And I think this can be future work, and we should maybe also write this down here. But it's not like something that will be
change for a future work.
I mean, it's not a big change. It's just some additional API endpoint that would just give you the file directly instead of auto calling it.
Okay.
And yeah, like there's you're not the first one to want this kind of thing being exposed. So yes.
Thought so.
Let me write it down here. Wait, what is your
lowercase g and dash? I'll just type it out.
I think I might also have it. Probably have it in like my history as well. Oh yeah, thanks.
Nobody can pronounce my name. Last name, I mean. Actually, no, neither a first name.
Okay, can you say it once?
Okay, you can't pronounce it if I say it how to pronounce it, but give it your best shot.
Gytis Ivaskevicius.
You nailed the first name. Gytis Ivaskevicius. My last name sounds like I wash cabbages if you say it quickly.
Okay, that's pretty tricky. Let me type it out here. This call mentioned that mentioned, and other people mentioned this in the past as well. That an API endpoint to get the functions directly without auto calling them would be useful.
At the end, add in those like code ticks blueprints API ? I like this name and I think it fits well. I'll type it out.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Maybe we could like start using this name and slowly like adopt it in community.
Yeah, something as I know, Flux also kind of does some things with that. They call it proto derivations, which I don't really like super well, but it's kind of prototyping, prototyped derivations. I can actually also link you to.
I opened like the not the RFC,
issue
but
you mentioned
the other RFC. If that's what you mean.
Yeah, let me link to your comment here from 2 hours ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so this and but yeah, for the RFC, I just want to call this out again. Like, to actually implement the RFC, this is, I mean, we need the tooling to make that work, which is like a CI check and so on. And like, I'm currently writing that alone. I would like some help, and that's currently I think the best way to help with this RFC. But Alex said he doesn't like Rust and doesn't want to write it. But like, if anyone would like to help out, or if you know anyone that does, I would appreciate some
This
help.
tool would just move files.
Yes, currently it's a bit more complicated. It analyzes the entire Nixpkgs tree and indexes references. Well, this is a bit outdated here, but it indexes references in the tree. It checks validity of the unit directory, and it ensures this requirement that files in the unit directory can't have reference outside the unit directory, and vice versa. And it also does the migration if you ask it for it. So
I feel like I'd use probably
yeah.
TypeScript or Ruby for this because it's more of a scripting language.
Well, we need a Nix parser for this, and Rust has a nice one, Rnix.
Yeah, then that makes sense.
That's the main reason I chose it, and it kind of needs to be fast as well, because like even with Rust, it's a lot of files to analyze. Like Nixpkgs is pretty big.
That's
Like it
just
takes
IO
20 seconds
operations.
with Rust, I believe.
Like
What?
parsing like syntax, yeah, that makes sense. Like Rust is obvious choice. But like that aside, like it's just IO operations. That's what's blocking you.
I think so. Yeah, probably yes.
So Rust won't really give you a hand in this regard.
Yeah, I won't. I mean, I haven't benchmarked it, but
yeah,
the main reason just Rnix exists.
Okay,
for
Rust
using
is
Rust.
Yeah,
definitely
it's not
an
about it being
option.
fast. It's just we have to be correct
Well,
and be a parser.
It needs to be kind of fast because it needs to run in every PR CI run.
Yeah, I mean
Oh.
it's it's not like a stupendous amount of data we need to process. It's big
Yeah.
on human scale, not on computer scale.
Yeah. Yeah, so I have had Vanya. He's a person from I know. He was interested in helping me out, but if all of you don't want to help either, then I guess I'll just continue alone. Sniff, sniff.
I'm all alone.
I can try to find someone that would. I mean, I would, but I'm so already crazy overextended.
I mean, so I think this might be kind of important for future changes in this team as well, because we are aiming for a lot of tree-wide changes, and like I don't know a lot of Rust, but I think it is very valuable to be able to like know Rnix and to be able to do like transformations of Nix code using it.
Actually, is Nixos Foundation paying for GitHub Actions?
I don't know.
No,
we have our own CI. It's not GitHub Actions that runs CI.
Okay.
It's off Borg, which is
right. Yeah, forgot about it. Anyways, maybe Rust will save some money in this regard.
Maybe. Oh, and actually, Offborg is also written using Rust, so it might even be integratable into it.
Keep it modular, I'd say.
Yeah. But yeah, I just want to kind of make this call out that if like Alex, like if you have a lot of free time and want to learn something new, like learning Rnix and being able to write tooling for like large scale Nixpkgs transformations would be very useful for this team.
Oh yeah, I think I usually just end up doing that stuff with like Sed and Awk, and I don't know. But yeah, having an LSP, I think would definitely be useful. I think I've always gotten by, just with these two hands.
I tried this initially as well with.
Yeah, no, and this is definitely a different scale.
Sed.
Yeah, like I know we've gone beyond the point of where Sed would be useful.
We should just write this tool with Bash.
Yes. No. If you want to do this in Bash, I am down. I am 1,000% there. I am there for that. I also know that Bash is not the right tool for this job.
Yeah.
I just
no.
No, trust me. If you ever want to make something out of like sticks and tape and just build something up like that,
For legal reasons, that was a joke.
I'm there for you. But I don't know, learning a fancy new programming language. I don't know about all that. I'm fine with my tape.
Let's do it with like rock or ante.
Alex, you have to rewrite libtool in Rest, don't you know?
But I mean,
Jesus,
actually,
even calling file from libtool like broke so many projects. You seriously, you cannot depend on anything in libtool. It's you actually sticks, stones, string.
But I do want to point out though that like you don't need to know a lot of Rust to be able to write Rust. Like the compiler is very pedantic about, and like, I mean, the compiler complains about it, and it's pretty much just like an imperative programming language.
Yeah.
As long as you know like how to compile it, how to like write the basic statements, it seems to work mostly fine.
Alex knows C++, so like it's gonna be fine.
I mean, I know. Yeah. I'm not concerned about picking it up. I know it's like I got to spend a weekend like learning how to do a loop and how to do Hello World, and I know I should. It's just like time consuming.
I slightly disagree with this because there are a couple of areas like compiler is really not helpful, like handling errors. Like there is no proper way in like STD to handle errors. Well, there are proper ways,
I'm just winging it here.
But like if you have like multiple different errors that you need to return, like you should like import like any error or whatever, and there's another library for that.
Yeah, no, I'm a C programmer first and foremost, and so like exception handling is just you return error. No, you just return an error code. I don't know how people manage to make
Rust too.
I don't know how people manage to make error handling so complicated. You just return an integer like a big kid. It's very simple.
Also,
yeah,
all right,
Rust error handling is early return based. They got that right.
All right, I'll stop